G'day guys, Nick here from Those Hairy Gamers, and welcome back to the Humble Bundle store. It's time for another Humble Bundle monthly unboxing. Just as a quick aside, they're also having a big Sonic the Hedgehog sale, including the pre-order for Sonic Mania, which comes out in August. And yes, that just gets all of my hype. I am so bloody excited to play this game. We'll do a full play of that as soon as it drops, but for now, let's take a look at this month's Humble Bundle monthly. So, the charity being supported this month is called Charity Water, or just Water, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Yeah, basically a no-frills charity that helps with water education and infrastructure in third world countries and developing countries, that kind of stuff. Thanks to the donations from this month's Humble Bundle, they were able to supply 1,200 people in Nepal with clean water, which is awesome. They're all about adding in infrastructure for clean water, adding in education, which is a very important thing. We take it for granted in the Western world, but clean water is a very, very basic way you can vastly improve the lifestyle of people who do not have access to it otherwise. It cures a whole slew of health issues, it's great for your diet, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty straightforward stuff that we just take for granted, and I think it's really cool that Humble Bundle's choosing to support it this month. Rightio, first up we have Plague Incorporated Evolved. This is a slightly messed up game where you play as a virus and your goal is to wipe out the human race. Basically you start with this large world map and you choose the country that you start your virus in, and you have to decide how your virus evolves and how that sort of piggybacks on the back of plane rides and infects other countries and that kind of thing. Different countries adapt to the virus in different ways and you basically have to just wipe out the human race. It's a bit messed up, it's a cool idea. Kind of reminds me of DEF CON, if you've ever played that kind of game, where you literally just have this map of the world and you have to survive a nuclear apocalypse. Next up we have Superhot, a game described on Steam as Superhot is the first person shooter where time moves only when you move. So it's kind of like a roguelike first person shooter. Really cool. Yeah, this had a massive positive response when it came out. It has a really cool sort of angular shape art style and a very powerful narrative, I'm led to understand. So that'll be cool. I'll have a play of that one with Matt and Justin and do a let's play for the channel. Next up, we have Stellaris, which is basically a spacecraft-based RTS, but it's what's known as grand strategy. Grand strategy is a genre where you control armies moving around a map, and when they clash with other armies, you have to go into a zoomed-in battle skirmish type scenario, and the whole idea is to conquer the entire map. And this is that kind of genre done in space. You have a race of some kind of creature and you're meant to colonize other planets. Looks really cool. I'm a real sucker for these kind of visuals where you have large space battles and lasers shooting everywhere, so very keen to give that one a go. Next we have Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. Now this is, I don't know how to describe the genre, it's like a mass RTS kind of game. The whole genre was started back in the 90s with Total Annihilation, and particularly recently it's had a massive resurgence. About over 10ish years ago we had Supreme Commander. Just recently we've had this, we've had Planetary Annihilation, and it's just really cool. It's a game where you have sort of automatically spawning buildings that give you units and you just pump out unit after unit and the screen just gets covered in utterly awesome looking warfare. You can zoom out so far that all your armies just become stats on the screen. And it's really cool, it's really cool. Don't know much about this one, but it came out last year. The graphics look really nice, so hopefully it's as good, if not better than things like Supreme Commander. So yep, that gets my tick of approval for sure. Next we have Brigador Up Armored Edition. This is a top-down arcade shooter with isometric 2D graphics. Basically, you walk around in a mech and fuck shit up. Looks a lot like a game I would have played on back on the Mega Drive back in the 90s. Things like a Desert Strike or Jungle Strike. If any of you are old enough to remember that kind of stuff. Yeah, it just looks really basic and cool. Lots of shooty, lots of explosions, a little bit of stealth and strategy going on, but honestly, I mean, look at it. We're just going to be shooting everything and having a good time and watching things explode. Okay, next we have Shopkeep. Now, full disclosure, I had a check on the Steam page. Apparently a lot of people are complaining that the devs have abandoned this game. I can neither confirm or deny that. I've just got the game. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But if that is the case, then obviously I can't recommend it. That's a very unfortunate practice that some devs have to take on. I understand they want to produce certain games and they have to allocate so many man hours into certain games. But when games get abandoned to the point where they're just not finished, that's very disappointing. Having said that, I don't know if that's the case. I'm going to give it a go. We'll play it on the channel. It looks very silly. Basically, it is a ye olde adventure shop tycoon kind of game. Imagine you're in a standard fantasy RPG, you go into a shop, you talk to the shopkeep, and basically instead of playing as the hero, you're playing as the shopkeeper, and you have to build it up and make a cool shop with swords and staffs and cloaks and all that kind of cool shit. So, could be good. I don't know. We'll see. We also have Maize. Yeah. I don't know what to make of this. This just looks utterly bizarre. You go into a cornfield, or a maize field, I guess, and you uncover a secret government lab, and there's a talking bear, and the bear's Russian, and the corn speaks to you as well. Yeah, first-person puzzle game. Looks interesting, looks kind of silly. I don't know if I'm going to get into this kind of humour. It looks really ham-fisted. But look, I don't judge until I play games, and I do love first-person puzzle games, so we'll give it a go and let you guys know what we think of it. Next, we have the next issue of Kevin Eastman's Underwear. This is a comic which I got the first issue of in the last month's Humble Bundle, so I guess they're continuing on with this. Don't know how long this is going to go for. It has a very nice art style. Honestly, I think I'd prefer that these bundles just include more games, but I'm not going to complain. I don't think it probably costs them much to put comics in the bundle, so that's all cool. Last but not least, we have the Humble Bundle Original, which is Tiny Echo, a 2D sort of moving frame-to-frame puzzle game. Not much to say about it. It looks like a cartoon I would have watched when I was a little kid back in the 90s. Got a lovely cell animation feel to it. The music sounds pretty good. No dialogue, the characters sort of speak to each other in weird kind of grunts. I don't know, might be cool, might not be. As said before, I like puzzle games, so we'll give it a go. And there we have it, another monthly bundle from the Humble Bundle store. Thanks for supporting the channel, guys. We'll continue to cover these each month, having a great time with these. Let us know in the comments what you'd like us to play from this bundle, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next month.